Hi everyone, I am Ms. Macedo. Welcome to our lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about hyperbole. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hyperbole. What's a hyperbole? Hyperbole is exaggeration. It puts a picture into the reader's mind. Example, you could have knocked me over with a feather. In this example, you can see that someone says that the person is so weak that you could have just knocked her over with a feather, but you actually can't literally knock someone over with a feather. So this is an example of hyperbole. This is an exaggeration. Hyperbole is used for emphasis, makes that part more important, or humorous effect. With hyperbole, an author makes a point by overstating it, just like we saw in this example. Exaggeration. Hyperbole can also be used to describe a person's emotions, feelings. In the following selection, a boy is pulling a man up from a deep hole. It was not a mere man he was holding, but a giant or a block of granite. The pull was unendurable, the pain unendurable. So this is a hyperbole, is an exaggeration. So the man wasn't actually a giant. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement or claim. They are not meant to be taken literally. Let's look at a few examples of hyperbole. I am so hungry I could eat a horse. Look at this image here. Can you really eat a horse? No, you can't. This is an example of hyperbole because you could not really eat a horse no matter how hungry you are. This example is emphasizing your hunger. It just means that you are so hungry. Another example of hyperbole. I have heard that a million times. This is an example of hyperbole because it is exaggerated to show the person has heard something too many times. So when someone tells you something over and over, and sometimes you say, I have heard that a million times. Or you can say, my mom has told me a million times to clean my room. She didn't tell you a million times, but she told you a few times. Another example. I told you 100 times to clean up your room. So you can see here this boy, and someone told him that. But this person actually didn't really tell him to clean the room 100 times, but she probably told him to clean it several times. Let's look at another example. The pavement was so hot, our feet fried on it. So this is another example. So you can see here the image of the foot frying on the pavement. It just means that it was extremely hot outside. Another example. I nearly died laughing. This is an example of hyperbole because you could not simply die from laughing. It just means that something was so funny that you laughed so much. Another example, he is 100 feet tall. So this is not he could not be literally 100 feet tall. So this person is not actually 100 feet tall. It just means that the person was very tall. So it is an exaggeration. Now, before we do our activity, Let's review hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggeration. It is used for emphasis. It is used for humorous effect. It is used in descriptions of people and emotions. Okay? Now, it is your turn to show your understanding. Let's see if you learned what a hyperbole is. So, in this activity, I'm going to read the sentence and you are going to say if it is an example of hyperbole or not. So, you can either say or tell someone next to you yes or no, or you can do like this, yes, or if it is not, you can say thumbs down, that's not. So thumbs up if it is an example of hyperbole, thumbs down if it is not an example of hyperbole. Or you can also either nod or shake your head. Okay? If you agree or disagree. Is this an example of hyperbole? You can say yes. Is it an example of a hyperbole? If it's not, you can say no. Okay, let's get started. So remember, hyperbole is an exaggeration, right? So the first one, I have a million things to do. I have a million things I have to do. Is this a hyperbole or not? Can you actually do a million things or not? So if yes, you're going to tell someone next to you, you're going to say yes or not or thumbs up. The second one, the fire was extremely hot. Is this a hyperbole or not? Is this an exaggeration or the fire is actually hot? Number 3, I ate a whole plate of food on my own. Is this an hyperbole? Is this an exaggeration or can you actually eat your whole plate of food on your own? The teacher gave us so much homework. Is this a hyperbole or not? The stove was so hot, I burned my hand off. Is this a hyperbole or this is a statement that could be true? Now, let's look at a few more examples here. And remember, you are identifying each sentence as an example of hyperbole or not. He's skinnier than a toothpick. Is this a hyperbole or not? Can this person be skinnier than a toothpick? Number 7, I had to read 15 pages of my book last night. Is this an exaggeration or it is something that you can actually do? Number 8, the floor was so clean we could eat off it. Do you really eat off the floor? Is this a hyperbole or not? 9, I don't like going to school. Is this an exaggeration? Is this a hyperbole? Or maybe this person doesn't like going to school. And the last one, she cried so long that she made a lake. Is this an exaggeration? Is this a hyperbole? Okay, so now we are going to do our last activity. And in this activity, you are going to create your own hyperbole. So I am giving you an example. The whole world was staring at me. So the whole world was looking at me. And I have here this image of the globe staring at me. So I gave the globe some eyes. Now you can create your own hyperbole. Okay? So today we learned about hyperbole. And hyperbole is an exaggeration. Okay? Thanks for watching this video.